I just feel like today's a real intimate sort of conversational talk today, because the world is crazy. We face challenges out there. You go to work and somebody's always trying to knock you off where you're working. You're going to the store or anywhere, there's always a challenge. But what about your home? Have you created it as a place of safety and refuge? I wonder if we have forgotten how to relax. How long has it been since you sat down with your family and ate a meal, and then after the meal, just talk and visit? I saw somebody's post early this morning, hanging out with my family, eating. I loved it. Because there's so little times that we get a chance just to sit down and get to know each other. How long has it been since you took a long walk in the evening with your loved one, or watched the sunset, or sat in a hot tub of water, or read a whole chapter of a book without interruption? How long has it been since you leaned back and relaxed and listened to good music? That just sounds so strange to some of us, doesn't it? Take the time to provide an atmosphere in your family that creates a refuge and a safe place. Someone said the 3 words that can summarize most of our time, how we spend our time, is hurrying, worrying, and scurrying. It's time for us to take what the psalmist to heart, to be still and know that He is God. How long has it been since you've taken shelter under the wings of the Almighty? 3 great truths about what we can draw from this psalm is that 1, God is always near and always available. God never puts us on hold. We may be on hold on the telephone, or hold on the red light, or hold at the bank, or deposit our money, but God is always available and anxious to hear us whenever we want to speak to Him. Secondly, God's power is greater than anything that you are facing right now. Greater than windstorms, earthquakes, or volcano. There is no greater power than God. God's power is sufficient to win the victory over all the enemy has come your way. Third, finally, God's help works even when we can't help ourselves. Have you felt weak lately? Have you felt like there's too many stresses, too much craziness going on in your life, that you're about ready to explode? God's help is available, and all you have to do is reach out and claim the Almighty, refuge, shelter of the Almighty. Point number 3. The first one, home should be a place of service, right? Then home should be a place of refuge. Number 3 is home should be a place of vulnerability. You're like, huh? Vulnerability? What does that have to do with home? How is that going to strengthen or reclaim my family? Isaiah 40:29, it says, He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Throughout the Bible, so many verses and chapters in the Bible, God never talks about the pride as He gives and elevates those who are prideful. He always seeks out the weak. He always seeks out the humble. In today's society, it's not good for us to show our weakness. We have to come off looking like we have everything in control. It's not good to be vulnerable, because people will take advantage of us. Because when people find out about our less than perfect upbringing or current life, it leads us to shame. That's why people do not want to be vulnerable, because of what we call shame. But what I can tell you about shame is that we all have it. Right. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how long you've lived your life. We all have shame. I always go back whenever I kind of get confused about, but aren't we supposed to be perfect? Aren't we? And then it comes to my Philippians, being confident in this, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion on the day of Jesus Christ. So we will never be perfect until Jesus Christ returns. And we think we have no shame. That's what keeps us from being vulnerable. It's universal. The only people that don't have shame or fear are those that have no capacity for empathy or human connection. And shame is understood as the fear of disconnection. Is there something about me that if other people knew that I would be worthy of connection, I wouldn't be worthy of connection? What supports this feeling of shame is a feeling that we all know: I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not educated enough, not fortunate enough, smart enough, whatever that enough is. When we think less of ourselves, it causes shame. But home is a place of vulnerability. In order for connections to be made in your home, your relationships, there's this thing called vulnerability. And we have to allow ourselves to be seen, really seen. Sometimes I say to myself, I've got no shame left. You know, I was telling somebody here, you know, I'm actually trying to train for a triathlon in 2 weeks. It's a mini triathlon. Mini, did I say mini? But anyway, I was trying to get on this bike path. And it's a wide bike path, and I had my bike, I was on my bike and riding, and this truck was coming towards me. It was a lifeguard truck was coming towards me. And in my mind, I was like, oh my goodness, he's gonna hit me. And I'm riding, I'm, oh, where's the brakes? How do I get this? You know, and like I was trying to brake, and what happened was that I tried to brake, I lost my balance, and I flew off the bike and like right into the dirt, right? And I was so embarrassed. Because you know what? The lifeguard stopped right there. I couldn't, it just kept going, you know? And behind me were 4 elderly people. I'm like, lifeguard, 4 elderly people, fat girl in the sand. So I get out, and I'm dusting, you know, and I'm thinking, I can either turn this into something really embarrassing. I'm just going to be vulnerable about this, you know? So he stops, I get up, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And I just get up, and I'm like, ta-da! He goes, girl, you get A for dismount. Oh, yeah. We can either choose to be ashamed or ride it and see where it goes. It only lifts us further to be connected with people. I believe that we become shamed because we don't feel worthy. I'm going to tell you one more story about my training. Because when you're vulnerable, like, you think that you got all... I'm training, so I went to the store and I got all my gear, right, to swim. And I got my swimming and that tight glove body shirt, and I got my cap, and I got my nose thing, you know, so that when I go into the ocean, you know, I'm ready to like do the real swim, turn side. But I got into the water and the wave hit me so hard that my nose piece fell out. I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is called vulnerability, but maybe it's just called stupid. But you know what the word courage means? Vulnerability is the measurement of courage. And courage, the original word for courage in Latin is cor, which means heart. And the original definition of courage is to tell the story of who you are with your heart. So these folks simply had the courage to be imperfect. Simply have the courage to be imperfect in your family. It makes you more human. Because when we go around thinking that we know it all, got it all together, it's not going to work in your family. What they also have in common as they fully embrace vulnerability. You know, when something shameful happens to you and you get up and you tell your own story of shamefulness, it doesn't have that sort of shame in it anymore, right? That's why it's like people, when they get up here and they do their testimony, God is good like that. I love my God for that, because you know what? He was the ultimate show of vulnerability. He hung himself on the cross, naked, unashamed, because of you and me. Amen. And when you get to realize that our God was vulnerable for us, and that we can vulnerable in the context of our family and not be ashamed, it raises our level of service and connectedness. While vulnerability is the core of what people think is shame, fear, and our struggle for worthiness, actually, vulnerability is the birthplace of joy, love, creativity, and belonging.